Life skillers are a simple people. I know. I talk to them on a regular basis. Okay? They're a simple people. They would bitch and bitch and bitch. And then we get one change. Like, I can put all my tools in a bag. And they're like, it's not good enough. But it's a good first step. Thanks, Jay. Meanwhile, the PvPers are like, I hate you! We haven't watched a video from Teddy Twilight in some time. He's come out with an intriguing video recently. Are veteran players being forced out for new players in Black Desert Online?
There should be some way to go ahead and have a line on what you're doing for the newer players and what you're doing for the older players. Let's talk real quick. Let's talk real talk. I feel as though
he paints his nails like C-Zane does, guys. He's legit.
We really have to have a line on what's for the veteran players, what's being made for the veteran players, and what's being done for the new.
Oh, this guy's headset is crazy. I wonder what kind of headset he uses. That's insane. Look at those. Man.
Newer players. Like, you can still do things for the veteran players while still maintaining things for the newer players. Like, there should be no reason why a lot of our veteran activities are dumbed down and made so that the newer players can go ahead and start doing the things that it took us years to be able to accomplish. It took us months to be able to accomplish, you know? It's just like when a game comes out and gives you a pass to automatically level up past all of the really meaningful points of the story and what makes the game. And
okay, to be clear, Perlibus, you did not hear that. Do not listen to that. Don't give people that. I'm so glad we don't have this in the game right now. It's like low-hanging fruit for them. Pearl shop item gives you, like, you start with like a level 60, like, new player logs in. You start with a level 60 character, full pen Chivala, 200 energy. Right? All towns discovered. Main story done. Like, how many people would buy that for 50 bucks? It's called seasonal. No, they still have to play through the game on seasonal. This is like skipping. This is like skipping. Yeah. Like, so many people would do this. They would make a crazy amount of money off of this. It would be insane. That's why I don't like it, because then it doesn't encourage people to play the game. I think it's against the spirit of the adventure of Black Desert.
And shines about the game and everything. You just
I will say that the point that Teddy's trying to make here is he's trying to say essentially that, like, he doesn't want what he worked for to be devalued, right? So, like, hey, I had to spend let me change this to pink. The amount of time. All right, so this is time, right? Yes, that's a little small. Wait, time's on the x-axis. X-axis. Okay, time and effort. Okay, so the amount of time and effort it takes to get, I guess just time over time, and actually we'll say gear score. This is just your gear score. Okay, gear score over time. All right, so the amount of time it takes to get to 700 gear score, for example. And I'm using gear score because it's low-hanging fruit, but you can apply this to life skills and stuff and PvE as well. He feels like the amount of effort it took him and the time that it took him to get to 700 gear score really should not be as devalued for a new player. The reality of the situation is that it's always going to get devalued. You can't have a constant progressive game where, like, your progress feels like super meaningful and have new players constantly joining that game if the new players don't feel that they can catch up. So it's an extremely delicate balance between allowing the new players to start further up the totem pole, right? Like, so that the amount of time it takes them is a lot less long to reach 700 gear score if they start here, right? Like, that's just kind of the way of the world. I think that BDO actually does a tremendously good job. Say what you will about the developers. I actually think they do a great job of making your time valuable. If you played the game 5 years ago and log in today, some of the progress that you made 5 years ago is still extremely valuable. The contribution, the energy that you made, the world that you discovered, all of the mobs that you got knowledge on, that's all still very valuable stuff that a new player is not just going to get handed for free. right? So your time still has value. It lowers over time, but I think that BDO does a good job of retaining players and their like players' time. You know what I mean? Like how valuable your time is, respecting that time. But let's be honest, it's not like we're respecting our time anyway. We spend thousands of hours grinding an MMO.
Bypass all of it to jump into the newest content. Like I feel like they're not doing enough to go ahead and keep us veteran players in. Like newer players, great. You guys are.
What if a new player gets 700 gear score in 32 days? Well then either I would say that A, game knowledge is priceless. B, for everything else, there's MasterCard. Okay, because ain't no way players are getting 700 gear score in 30 days. Okay, it doesn't happen. All right, unless they spent a tremendous amount of money on the game. It's just the way that it goes. Okay, or they had a tremendous amount of help from their community. All right, Choice did it, I think, in 2 months. I think Choice did it in what, 2 months? But he had a Shy there buffing him all the time. He had Ranaros and Offen and Narcs on, right? So like he really wasn't there. But like he also grinded 10 hours a day every day for 2 straight months. He deserved it. If you're grinding 10 hours a day every day for 2 months, you're gonna hit 700 gear score. That's the truth. It's totally doable. In 1 month, I don't see how a player could consistently grind for 20 hours a day every day for a month. You could grind for 10 hours a day and then make up the difference with MasterCard. That would be possible, right? And in which case, to be clear, he deserves it. Okay? If you worked that hard, you deserve it. Sometimes people get really giga carried, and that's fine too. Either way, in order to reach 700 gear score, you'd have to be so carried so consistently, it's probably just not going to happen. It's definitely not consistent, and it's definitely not something that you should base like a statement on, like, oh, players are progressing too quickly because this one guy got carried out of his mind. It doesn't make any sense. It's not a valid argument because the rest of the players don't get that kind of treatment. I got proof he hasn't spent a dime. Unless so, I will time you out. I literally just, you know what? I am going to go ahead and time you out. So you, no more speaking. I don't care if he didn't spend a dime because I literally just explained my point. And if you can't understand that, it's a you problem. You're not allowed to talk for the rest of the video.
Are taken care of and all, but for me with our gathering, you know, I've hit Guru. What more should I do? Nothing. There's not really much I can do to get more enjoyment from my gathering. Why? Because I dumbed down all of the veteran activities to make it easier, like with our fishing back in 2018 when they dumbed it down. So
well, I don't know if Teddy's 2K mastery yet. If he's 2K mastery, then yeah, he's basically done. But like, here's the thing: you're never done gathering, right, guys? Because like now you got to go now you're 2K mastery. Now you can make the maximum silver per hour from gathering. Now you want to go out and gather more. That's the way that it goes, right? Like that's what I like about BDO. You reach the end and then you're like, okay, now I can play the game, right? That's crazy.
No longer.
And I can prove it. Yeah, well, my point was that like you can't base it off of what one player did because he's a statistical outlier. You can't like you can't change your game based on statistical outliers. It doesn't make any sense.
Were you trying to go?
If you don't understand those words, it's okay. Small word do trick, guys. I apologize. I'll try to keep the words small for the rest of the video.
Go and get to Guru as quickly as you could to start doing your harpoon fishing. Now,
is this dude? This dude is out by Old Port Rat. Land of the Morning Light is right behind him. He's in the Margoria Sea, next to those pirate ships. This dude's fishing right now. What? What are you doing out here? Also, your boat is about to be Tom Hanks in Castaway. Like, bro, that's crazy, man.
Were you trying to go?
It's 1.5 bill there an hour. Are you trying to tell me that active fishing is 1.5 billion silver an hour? That's crazy, man. You know, I was just talking to Choice. He said he was basically active fishing all day today. You're absolutely right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's for sure. Makes sense.
Go and get to Guru as quickly as you could to start doing your harpoon fishing. Now you just do your AFK fishing.
What is going on?
Because that's all we ever do. You know, they made it.
That's all we've ever done with fishing. What do you mean? This is the worst example, Teddy. Teddy, there's so many. Okay, I don't fully disagree with what he's saying. But there's so many better examples. Fishing is such a terrible life skill to compare it to because fishing is basically just an AFK life skill, and it always has been. With the exception of when I started the game, there was something called hotspot fishing, where you would get on your boat and you would sail around with your friends. And if you were a higher fishing level, you could see the fishing hotspots, and you would fish at the fishing hotspots until they went away. You catch a bunch of coelacanth or whatever, and then you would sail to the next one, and you would just sail around to hotspot to hotspot. It was actually really good money per hour, but it was really tough to get into. But that's gone now. That's not a thing anymore. And like, he's certainly not doing it. Hotspot fishing was fun. It was fun, right? Like I was around for it, I know, but like he's showing like this fish. This is not real. Like nobody does this. This is crazy. I mean, more power to him for playing the game the way that he wants. I give Teddy a bravo for that. That's crazy. Because if I sailed by somebody like this, I would be like, nobody would saw it if I just alt-C'd him right now. Because the only people that sail by there's carracks, right? There's like a Valor carrack, Lolly Pirate. Lolly Pirate is literally going by this like tasty. Like this is crazy. This dude is out in the ocean. Guys, the only way I guarantee you the reason that he's out here is because it's abundant and he gets the highest possible relic crystal shard drop rate in Margoria and the Raw Sea. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's a way better way to do this. He might not know about this. He might know about this. I don't know. But either way, here's Portaferia right here. I'm going to give you my tech. All right. And I've said this before. Okay. This is my tech for AFK fishing. What you do is if you have an archaeologist map, it makes this way better. But if you're really trying to maximize money AFK fishing, what you do is you take a boat and you sail from here and you go here. Okay. Is a cog? Well, I mean, the cog is good for what I'm about to show you. The cog is really good for this. You sail out here. The thing about this island, or actually, I apologize. You sail out to this island here. Okay. So you'll notice that this island does not have a name. That's because it's technically in the Ross Sea. For those of you that don't know, there's a period, there's like the normal, like known ocean, right? This is like the known ocean, right? Everything has islands have names. You can barter here, whatever. Then there's like the Ross Sea, okay? And then there's Margoria. This is how the ocean works, okay? The Margoria is like the deep sea, right? But the Ross Sea and Margoria have just about the same drop rate on fishes, okay? So like as long as you're in the Ross Sea, your map disappears. And the reason that no one fishes out here is because you can get hit by lightning, tornadoes can spawn, and all that other stuff, right? You can't AFK fish out here unless you're on an island. So what you do is you take your boat and you sail out here. You'll cross into the Ross Sea right around here. Okay. You get off and you sit on this island right here with your sub 50 ult. You throw your rod in the water. It is abundant. It is the highest relic crystal shard drop rate in the game. You can get a full inventory of blue grade and yellow grade imperial fish. And the best part is when you're done, there's an imperial fishing vendor in Portaferia. So you can basically just sail your boat right here, just barely till your map comes back, and then map to Portaferia. Imperial vendor, all of your fish, make a bunch of money. Okay, sell your relics, transform to marketplace, whatever. Then take the map teleport back to your boat, sail back to your spot, and you're good to go. Done. Exhausted? The Ross Sea can't be exhausted. It doesn't matter how many people are out there. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I will say that for what it's worth, you need to be on a sub 50 or people are going to f you. Because I just told everyone about it. I used to do it on my level 60 Mewa, and no one ever bothered me because no one knew about it. But like, I'm telling you right now, people are going to f you. Also, if you really want to get technical with it, there's actually a coral reef right here. I've mapped out the coral under all of these islands. I know where all of the coral beds are. There's a coral reef just underneath this island. So if you swim down just on the edge of this island right here, you can actually go down and get the clams and the pearls and like the lobsters from down there and then come back up. It's really good money. So like if you're trying to get into underwater gathering, it's not a bad way to consistently get lobster so you can get your glue and stuff or whatever you want. For your buttered lobster, or you can dry it or whatever. So like that's fine too. But like, yeah, that's a really good spot. And again, that's because I've been doing it forever. I know the tech, bro. Also, if you have a cog, you don't need an archaeologist map. You can just cog out here and then cog back. You can literally just put your AFK You just wake up in the morning, angle your boat towards Portaferia, hit T, and let the cog just sail straight back. Easy. Done. I used to do it every day before work.
And get to Guru as quickly as you could to start doing your harpoon fishing. Now you just do your AFK fishing because that's all we ever do. You know, they made it easier. They made it streamlined so that when you run out of your fishing pole durability, you can continue to fish and not have to worry.
Lobster's good for buttered lobster, which is used for the Valencia meal. Yeah.
About, oh, well.
Or buttered lobster, I'm sorry, it's used for the Margoria seafood meal. I believe. Pretty sure.
I have to repair. It's great for the newer players, but for the veteran players that know of the things that are out there, you know, the other items that we can get
glue.
for...
Also, glue is really good too, for various different purposes for the ocean.
The other bonuses, like, say, take the Medea rod, for example. You know, the Medea rod will help us...
Okay, let me help you. It's the Balanos rod, just plus 10 the Balanos rod. Everything else is completely useless. The Medea rod... You know, I don't remember what the Medea rod is.
Catch our rare fish. Our rare fish will help us.
They increase the rare fish rate, but the Balanos rod increases your auto fishing time speed, so you catch more fish, so you just win. And since everything in Rossi and Margoria is really good,
let's get the yellow grade fish.
What's the best float? Just don't.
And or if you're
I don't fuck with floats.
Doing the big fish table for the rainbow fish.
It's AFK fishing, so
you know,
yeah, it's only good for active,
rod. But by removing all
Draxlix01, thanks for the Prime sub, buddy. Thanks for dropping it here.
All of that need, now it's just AFK fishing. A lot of the newer players are not going to ever find out about that rainbow fish. A lot of us veteran players are no longer...
Is that what he's fishing for? This dude's fishing for the... Is that where you catch that fish? If that's true, that's based. But I don't think that's one of the spots. I don't think the Banto Sea is one of the spots, but I could be wrong.
Fish. A lot of us veteran players are no longer are going to go.
If you don't know, like I don't know though. I could be wrong. I have no idea. Because this rainbow fish, guys, what he's talking about right here.
A lot of the newer players are not going to ever find out about that.
This mystical fish, there are 5 of these. If you catch all 5 mystical fish, you can summon Vel for the entire server. Everyone. You get a Vel summon scroll. And you get like a title, I think. I think only one person has ever done it. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. And Perlibus made an event around the person. Yeah.
A rainbow fish. A lot of us...
It's extremely hard.
Veteran players.
I think one of them is caught at Papu Crenea. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Are no longer...
But all of the locations are secret. No one wants to share them.
Are going to go and or can get that rainbow fish as easy because of the fact that everything was streamlined and made so that you can just AFK and not have to check your computer again, or the newer players can jump.
Well, here's the thing. It's a bad argument for the mythical fish, because let's be honest, you're not active fishing for the mythical fish. If you are, it has got to be the most incredible waste of time I have ever heard any adventurer ever do. I mean, of all the dumb shit that I have heard somebody do, that has got to be at the top of the list. I mean, more power to you for doing what you love, but holy shit. Bro, I guess that's why he's using the Medea rod to get... That's crazy. So he is active fishing for the mystical fish. That is insane. We don't even know if the Medea rod actually... Like, if it applies to the Medea rod. That is crazy. Like...
Jump in. It's like, it sucks.
He said back in 2018... I don't know. That was a pretty recent screenshot, bro. He had Tri Manos accessories and Tri fishing. That was recent.
You know, I'm not gonna sit there and say like Perlibus is like doing everything absolutely completely wrong, because they're not. It's just at this point in time, as a veteran player, everything is not new to me. Everything is not magical. I know certain materials require certain things and certain processes and all this, and I loved the fact that I can go out there and do the random gathering. I can go out there and get random things from over here and over there and still make some type of money, and it was fun because it wasn't the same thing like flamingos. You know, no one bothers to go out there and gather for the flamingo blood, but it was a random thing that you...
That is correct. I think in my history in BDO, I don't think a single person has come up to me and been like, Blue, where do I get flamingo blood? It doesn't happen, guys. It doesn't happen.
you could do, and it was fun. You know, like the weasel hunting or the weasel killing over there in Kamasovia. No one bothers to kill the weasels over there, but it's fun, and it was red.
I don't
and
even
it was
remember
entertaining. Like the
I don't even remember where flamingos are. Flamingo BDO. Let me see. Oh, there's. Oh, that's true. They are sitting in the Glish swamp, like the swamp area, the Serenity Swamp. That's fair. Who the gathers on that shit, bro? You got, bro. All right. Why would you gather on flamingos when the lizards are right here, man? Bro, lizard blood is like 8 times better. It's the same concept. Just go do the legendary beast blood is so good, bro.
Stoneback crab
Why do I
mining.
know this?
You know, they took all of these great
Cheetah dragon meat. God.
aspects and dumbed it down to where you're only going to three locations: Bear, Pilgrims, and over here in Anaha Island for your underwater gathering.
No one goes to Bear anymore because the fruits are gone, right? That's not good gathering EXP anymore, from what I understand. It's like the tech. Nobody knows about Al Naha. Nobody does this except I've seen Byrog out here. I've seen Byrog. This is the best coral reef in the game, if you were wondering. He's right here. This is Al Naha right here. Just west of Al Naha. This is the best coral reef in the game. It's really big. It's really big. Garmoth? No, I'm good. And he's going to Pilgrims for Roughstone. That's fine. People go there. But honestly, I think the gatherers usually go to get lion meat from Valencia. And they go get Chishira Ruins to the snake and scorpion meat rotation. That's a very common rotation, right? Like, those are probably the 2 most gathered locations in the game.
Like, it sucks. Like, I'm pretty sure there are other activities that actually benefit from being a veteran player, like say your horse breeding, or to a point, or say like your cooking, maybe, but a lot of it is dumbed down. Like alchemy was nerfed so bad that the ingredients are not going to make you any money.
This is based. Teddy's a smart man. He's making spirit perfume elixir. Spirit perfume is the best way. That's why I talked about it in my alchemy guide. It's definitely one of the best ways to make money through alchemy. It's probably the only way to make like really consistent money through alchemy.
The elixirs aren't going to make you any money, so you're basically losing money on
you are losing money doing alchemy in almost every other case.
lot of your alchemy recipes, like 75% of your recipes, depending on the region that you're in. And this all goes by the region too, because each region has a different feeling on different things. So like for NA, we're all butthurt about the open world PvP, the node war, this PvP, that, you know, we're all butthurt about that. For Europe is mad about, you know,
the same shit.
Life skilling, PvP.
No one gives a shit about life skilling. EU has way more life skillers, but they're not complaining, bro. They're like, I don't know, like they complain about the same shit that the other life skillers complain about, bro.
See content or
life skillers are a simple people. I know. I talk to them on a regular basis. Okay, they're a simple people. They would bitch and bitch and bitch. And then we get one change, like I can put all my tools in a bag. And they're like, it's not good enough. But it's a good first step. Thanks, Jay. Meanwhile, the PvPers are like, I hate you! Like, they're just way louder. Bro, the PvPers get like all the content. They get like War of the Roses, AOS practice mode. They like the node war is completely reworked. No one asked for that, but like, you know, technically it's new content, KEKW, right? Like they get updates all the time, and they're just constantly screaming about it. The life skillers are like, they get like 2 updates a year. Family-wide life skills was massive for them. Last year, I don't even think they got that. But like, they got family-wide life skills this year, and then we got the tool bag. And they're like, thank you for the family-wide life skills. And the tool bag is a great step in the right direction. But can we please do that with accessories and chess pieces too? Thanks so much for the consideration. They're a simple people.
C region is all upset about the connection issues and shit. Like, it's just, we're in a bad point. We're slowly getting back up. Don't think that, you know, Black Desert is dying. I'm not here to tell you guys that. Like, no, we're not. It's just, we're in a bad point. I'm waiting to see if they're gonna update anything and really give us a veteran activity to do, because if they don't,
Hot take. I actually think the game's in a pretty good spot if you're not a large-scale PvPer. Which is the vast majority of the player base. I think the majority of the player base is happy. I think that the PvEers and the life skillers are pretty happy. The PvPers are the unhappy ones, and they are often the most vocal people. And so it looks like everyone is unhappy, but it's really a relatively small portion of the player base because they keep ruining that content. So when I think of veteran players, most veteran players are like the hardcore PvPers. Like that's when I think of, like, because I thought this video was going to be about like, okay, yeah, let's talk about the veteran PvPers, but he's talking about like the life skillers and the PvEers. I don't even think those players are really all that upset. I think they're more excited than they are anything because they're hoping for like large scale PvE raid content at the Heidelball Copium. Or they're asking for like the life skills like tool bag expansion, and then they're good, right? They're good for another year. You don't even need to talk to these people again. Like, it's crazy. But I think that overall, I think players are actually pretty happy. And I would say that like veteran, like as far as like respecting your progress goes, I don't know. I think there's plenty to do as far as life skilling and stuff goes. They added the Beyond Guru 50 life skilling and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't add to your mastery or anything, but life skillers are like this Excel spreadsheet. Actually, those people love that shit, bro. Those people love that update. Now they can flex how high they are. You know what I mean? So like, yeah.
Then I feel like a lot of us are going to be leaving for PAX Day just for the immersion, which, if you guys aren't familiar, PAX Day is coming out early access June 18th. If you guys haven't picked it up yet, be sure.
Can you stream it? Normally early access, you can't like stream it. You can? Well, I can't. I'm not going to be able to play it because that's when I leave for the Heidelball. But when I come back, I'm going to be looking to play multiple things. Maybe we get into PAX Day. Has been streamed every PAX Day beta. I think PAX Day is going to be fun. I don't think it's going to replace BDO by any means. I don't think that the two games compete very much. Because PAX Day is like a loot. Like, people, correct me if I'm wrong. It's kind of like Rust. If you die, you lose all your shit. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. I don't think that Black Desert Online players like that concept very much. That's the reason that we play BDO and not Rust. PAX Day is an incredible game. It looks super fun, but I don't feel like it really appeals to like a Black Desert player base, necessarily speaking. You cannot stream the closed betas with NDAs. There you go.
To do your pre-order.
This is like the pre-release alpha or whatever, so it's different.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to play it. I don't know if my computer will be able to handle it or if I'll be able to get it, but I'm gonna try to buy it.
It looks
within
so
that,
good.
like, first week to go ahead and sink my teeth into it. But you know,
best source gear for striker PvP. You always want to get the C one first because it's HP and stamina. Always the best one because you're gonna be doing a lot of cap PvP. In uncapped PvP, probably still HP and stamina. If I had to be honest. The DP one kind of sucks, so you can get that one like third. But like, you get the AP one for PvE, you get the C one for basically all PvP, and then the DP one, if no one in your guild has the DP one, you can buff people with that one too. That's what I wear the DP one for. It's not because it's good, it's because no one else has it, and I can give that to the guild because everyone else has the other ones.
you know, other games are going to come out, other games that are more unique.
No, I'm gonna play it too. It looks incredible. It looks really good. But like, again, I think that it's not like a BDO killer.
And I just don't want Black Desert being left in the wayside. I don't want them to end up like every other game that touted to be a WoW killer and never was, you know? This game has been around for
yeah. Okay, so I've respected his takes so far. That, like, I don't really feel like BDO and WoW compete. They are both MMOs, and that is where the similarities stop. Everything else is basically completely different. I don't think anybody touted BDO as like a WoW killer. And I think BDO is doing pretty well overall.
10 years almost. Like, I want to see it around for another 10. I want to be able to compare to EVE Online or RuneScape or Wizard 101. I don't want it to be like WildStar.
Those are fairer comparisons.
I don't need it to be like ArcAge.
WildStar. Oh.
All these unique games that they killed themselves. I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about that. If you guys share the same sentiment, if you guys want Black Desert to try to put their foot down on being a unique little snowflake instead of just being a carbon copy, a repeat of every other Korean MMO, or just a watered down dollar store version of World of Warcraft. Subscribe, turn on all those notifications if you found this
Yeah, so are veteran okay. I don't know if he ever really addressed the question, are veteran players being forced out for new players?
I am
Overall,
sorry, I don't get this guy's point. Fishing?
yeah, so I think that there was some rambling in there, but like, you know, Teddy makes great points. But like, I think that in my opinion, I do not feel that veteran players are being forced out for new players. I think that veteran players are being forced out because Prolibus doesn't want them playing the game anymore. Like, I think that the veteran players that are currently being forced out are the large scale PvPers and the open world PvPers that truly enjoy just running around and killing other players. Those are the players that are being forced out, and those are veteran players. So in that respect, yes, they are. Right? Been running around the map. Where is Black Desert? Where is the Black Desert? You're in it, man. You're that's where you're standing. You're good. I think the rest of the veteran players, though, the life scalers, the PvEers, the ones he's talking about in this video, I don't think they're being forced out at all. I think they're relatively happy overall. I think there are some changes that life skillers and PvEers could absolutely ask for, and like they complain about, but like it's nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Like they're asking for basic updates. They're relatively happy with the systems that they've got. Of course, they're going to be happy with any new content that they throw their way. I think that most of them are actually pretty happy with the simplification systems. I'll be honest with you. Hot take. I don't really like that they combined fruits for alchemy. I know, crazy, but like I think that it kind of it's just miserable. I liked having to go out and get the different fruits and get the different like materials for alchemy. That's what I kind of liked about alchemy, and I think it kind of took it away. But you know, most people overall are okay with it. And I don't think that veteran players are really being forced out unless you talk about the PvP player base that loves killing players. I will say that there was a time in Black Desert where you would go out to your grind spot and you would just flag up on a white dot. It didn't matter. Everyone was a primate. Everyone was a primate. You just flagged up and you went in and you would just kill people. Like flag and drag, baby. You would just run people down. It just didn't matter. Okay? That's how it was. Okay? Elric Shrine, Sawson's Helms, Pirates, you name it. That's how it was. Gahaz, Crescent Shrine, like all of those people just running each other down, just yeeting people out of grind spots. The game's a lot different now. And we've come kind of a long way from there. Like gear has progressed dramatically. And back then, players' gear was much more obtainable and it was like obtainable faster. Now you're talking about years of progression against days to months of progression. And like, they kind of have to moderate that a little bit more. Also, there's a lot less players now than there were back then. Okay, when the Steam release happened for the game, there's like the original launch, and then there was like the Steam launch, and like there were so many players playing at that time. It was like, bro, and there were so few servers and so many players. Open world PvP was unavoidable, and people loved it because nothing was personal. Now, we've all been playing together for years. It's always personal. Hell, I can't even remember the last time somebody... Bro, nowadays, everybody's big and shiny. You get killed on your PvE grind rotation, you're flipping open your Excel document, let me add him to my list. You know what I mean? Like now you just remember. Like, all of the BDO players, like, Pepperidge Farm remembers. Like, if somebody griefed you, like, 6 years ago, and then they happen to kill you again, like, today as you're grinding, you're like, I know this piece of shit. Loser. Like, bro, you're already predisposed to hating each other because you've known each other for years. We all know each other. It's always personal, and that makes it all the more toxic. Back then, none of us knew who the we were. We were just killing each other indiscriminately. It wasn't personal. You're just in my zone. Get the hell out of here. Go find somebody else so that you can bully them out of their zone, right? Nowadays, it's, oh, I know Joey, a Black Rose piece of shit. I'm gonna run that. Never mind, he's farming me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that guy's doxed me, or that guy's ganked me, or he's followed me service, or whatever, man. Like, it's always personal. There's not enough players nowadays. Changes had to happen, which sucks, but it is what it is. Like, the node war changes really suck, and I think that's what's forcing a lot of veteran players out as far as PvP goes. But aside from the PvP player base, I would disagree with the overall sentiment that veteran players are being forced out. Either way, I'm going to give the video a thumbs up. Here's the video right here. You guys should go comment and interact with it. Sub to Teddy. We love Teddy. He makes great content for video.